Welcome to the Christian Life Coach Collective. I am your host, Laura Malone, and we're here to talk about life coaching, entrepreneurship, leading yourself well, and lots of spirit-led life and business strategies. So thanks for joining me on this journey, and let's jump into today's episode. Have you ever taken a triple C nap? It's a Costco Christmas coffee nap. And I just woke up from one. Literally 2 days before Christmas, I went to Costco early in the morning, still terrible. Then I went and got a coffee, and the coffee is a perfect temperature now after I took my nap in the parking lot. I put my AirPods in. I put on my Headspace app. I chose the sleep. It's like a story that goes for like 45 minutes. And it's called Rain Day Antiques. And like British guy Simon is talking the whole time. And there's rain. And it literally sounds like there's rain on the roof of my car in the parking lot. And he's just walking me through this antique store. And it's fantastic. And I totally fell asleep because I am exhausted. I don't know about you. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. And if I'm home, there are presents to wrap. And I need to make my gluten-free tricolor, my like Italian rainbow cookies. And make them like special to my family the way we like them. And there are things to do. There's people coming over tonight, and there's just a lot going on. I miss my daughter desperately. I could sit here and start bawling and record it all for you because our 20-year-old went off. She's in missions, and she is with Youth with a Mission, and she's overseas now. She officially flew, not just the coop. She went to Hawaii for her school, and then now she's like crossed the ocean again. And I miss her so desperately. And here's one thing, when you're a parent, for all of the years, when the days are really long, but the seasons are very, very short. And you don't know until you look back. And the especially as a mom, I think, all of the years of wishing my head was clearer, emptier. There's just like so much mental and emotional and physical work put into being a parent. And you're just exhausted. And you're like keeping track of everybody. You're making sure they don't get hit by anybody in the parking lot. You're making sure you don't lose them in Costco. You're making sure you bought them everything you want. You're making sure you made the best choices to meet them with what they want. You're making sure that you're the best price on everything because you got to save money because you don't have a ton of money. Why? Because you have kids. And there's just a lot going on. But then when they leave, your mind is emptier. It's true. But so is your heart. It's so painful. Gosh, I could do a whole episode just kind of complaining. I want her back. Get back here, you. Come home now. That's what I want to say. I actually did text it a couple of days ago, and she didn't respond. I know she's 20. I wanted her to move out. I wanted her to go on, live her best life. I just wanted her to do it like 20 minutes away. Even though I raised missionary kids, we've lived everywhere. And I knew that this was going to happen. And we have 2 that live in other places in the country. Like, I just, I miss them every day, and it adds to the mental and the emotional exhaustion during a holiday season, during the big day season, you know. And I woke up from my triple C nap in my car in the parking lot with my winter coat as my pillow. Listen, first of all, let me finish my statement. I woke up thinking to myself, I just want to say something before Christmas to all my listeners, all my lovely people out there. I I know a lot of this doesn't even make sense if you're not a parent. I know a lot of it doesn't make sense if you don't live kind of like in the Western culture where you could actually get a coffee at the edge of the Costco parking lot or even know what Costco is. So I get that because there's a lot of you someplace else in the world and none of this makes sense. But this is what I want to make sense. Is when I was trying to go to sleep and just physically just tired. My eyes are tired. My heart is like wrung out and my body is tired. My mind is tired. I need a real solid day off. And I'm laying there and I had to talk myself into taking a rest. I lay there and I said, I am safe, because my mind was coming up with like pictures of cars hitting my car in the parking lot, which is ridiculous. I was surrounded by nobody. I woke up surrounded by cars, but I went to sleep half an hour before. There was nobody parked near me. I wonder how many people looked in and said, "Whoa, she's taking a little nap." So, I hope it gave them permission, because that's one of the things I actually had to say to myself was, I have permission. I have permission to just stop. I have permission to sleep in the parking lot. I have permission to take care of myself. I have permission to bawl my head off if I need to. I have permission to whine and complain and pick myself up and get over it and move on. I have permission to rest and restore. And then this thought came to me that I am really good at giving away things. So I'm listening to the Headspace app, listening to this, it's kind of a guided meditation that's like set to help you go to sleep. It's like disengage your brain so you can like listen to what Simon's saying, but it means nothing, so you can fall asleep. That's the point. And I'm listening to his what he's saying. I'm actually thinking about something that I'm like, oh, that'd be a great episode. I could say this and I could talk about that. And I started scripting in my head. And I thought, I'm really good at taking everything and turning it into something I can give away. And I'm really good at being a person who walks through the grocery store and instead of just buying what I need, I help everybody else find what they need. I am really good at parking. I find a good spot in the Costco parking lot, but then I stand and I help people load their car with heavy things from their cart, and then I take their cart for them. And all of this is good and fine. But I'm really good at giving away things that sometimes I should just keep. And it means listen to, a scripture or guided meditation or a worship song or a story, and just let it soak in, and then don't give it away. I don't hope this is making sense. Do you let things come to you only to turn around and give them away? And that is information, like listening to this podcast. Are you thinking about how you could take what I'm saying and then teach it to somebody else or share it with somebody else, as opposed to actually just letting what I'm saying absorb into your own soul, letting your mind get wrapped around it, letting your heart come to some rest, letting your body take permission to nap, instead of saying, how can I give away this, what I just learned, what I just heard, what I just, kind of absorbed, and leave it to somebody else. I'm really good at doing that. And I want to encourage you to not be so good at doing it like I am, to take time and actually have moments where you say, I'm going to keep this one. And I'm going to walk through the store without stopping to spend an extra 10 minutes in my store run to help other people. I'm not saying never help anybody. I'm just saying don't always give away what is yours. And your time, your energy, your peace, your mindset, your thoughts, your emotions, they're yours and you get to protect them. And you get to sometimes just rest in them, and you get to absorb things and keep it. You get to allow for the time that you have to be yours without turning around and instantly giving it away to somebody else. And that includes your husband, wives, and children. Like your spouses, your children, your significant others in your life. They deserve you. They do. But you also deserve you. You deserve the peace and the rest that you need. You deserve to have joy. And what if you took rest? What if you took, well, you and I, or I'm talking to both of us, what if we took the rest that we can find, that we can eke out of each day? What if we took the joy? What if we took the knowledge and the energy and the space? And what if instead of habitually, by default, just spreading it out and giving it back away to everybody else, what if we absorbed it? What if we allowed it to affect us and influence us, impact us, and really soak in it? And what if we marinated in what we have? And then, what if people got more out of it because it came from us? It exudes from us. It flows out of us naturally. We don't have to try to give it away. It just comes off of us. It flows out. What if that's actually a better way for people to get what we want to give them, as opposed to kind of giving this half-baked, like I didn't even absorb it fully. I didn't really make it mine, but I gave it away already. And I think that I believe teaching is the highest form of learning. So I do believe that there's something to be said with taking what you've learned and teaching it. But some of the stuff we learn needs to be absorbed and deeply rooted before we turn around and teach it. I feel that way about personality things like the Enneagram and things like that. I feel take some time and really figure it out for yourself. Absorb it before you start turning around to teach it. And I love to talk about things like that. But also, I realize over years, I think I've been studying the Enneagram and using coaching for maybe 5 years now. I know less 5 years in than I did when I started, because I've realized the depth of the human soul and the depth of God's creation. It is just not so simply dissected and disseminated. And I understand better 5 years in that the Enneagram especially, but our personalities in general, they're just so nuanced. And it's just really special how individual we are. So I needed time. I needed years to soak in the understanding and revelation of God's creation called human original design, and just get it in myself, absorb it before I could really understand more so that I could give it away. So what is it that you can marinate in? What is it that you can fully bake? And before you actually pull it out of the oven and pass it out around the table. So I want to encourage you to take any amount of time you possibly can. I know you're going to say you don't have the time. I'm going to say you're not making the time. I will always say that, because I do strongly believe that we do have the time, but we make our choices what to do with it. And when we don't manage ourselves well inside of the time we have, we will feel like we don't have the time. But then that's not really taking responsibility for our choices with it. So if you're going to do something for yourself, you need the time to do it, which means you need to manage yourself well within the amount of time you have, and you have to make a committed decision. I am going to take care of myself. And maybe you can't do this before Christmas, but what if you can do it after, the day after, or the day of? whatever it is you need to do, whatever it is you can do, I want to give you permission to stop, to rest, to laugh, to cry, to let your emotion come out, to pull your pants up, your big girl pants, your big boy pants, pull them up and say, I'm going to get going, tighten the buckle, say, I'm going to start going now. But do what you need to do to take care of yourself in this moment. If it's a triple C nap, excellent. The reason a coffee nap is great is you drink the coffee, you go to sleep, and when you wake up, it's kind of kicked in. And I think that's why I woke up like, hey, let's record an episode right now. So I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to remind you that Jesus died on the cross because he connects us back to the Father. So his entire birth, the purpose of it, is to connect us to the Father. And when we choose him, then what happens is the Spirit of God recognizes us and identifies us because of the Spirit that is alive within us because of our belief in Jesus. So what happens when you believe that this baby was born, and he wasn't born on December 25th, but that's okay. We can take our day. When you believe a baby was born, sent by God, his one and only begotten Son, right? And then he, at the age of around 33, was crucified on a cross to save us from our sins. That we're all sinners born into a world of sin. And because of what he did, because of his sacrifice, because of the Father's great sacrifice, we can have eternal salvation. We can be with a good, good Father in the kingdom of heaven for all of our days. Simply by believing that this one man did what he did, because we are so greatly loved, valued, and we are worthy to him in his eyes. And he thought about us on the cross. We were on his mind. You were on his mind. And because of his birth, his death was allowed. And because of his death, you and I are identified by the Spirit as those who are children of God, who will live with him, reign with him for eternity. And that is nothing. It has nothing to do with our works, our striving, our self-righteousness. It simply has to do with our faith. So remember, today, while you're in the middle of the crazy stores, or no matter what time of year you're listening to this, no matter what's going on in your life, remember that because of your faith in Jesus, you're identified by the Spirit as a child of God. And you have everything that you need right now because your dad is a good dad. Circumstances may be tough. Trials and trauma and pain might be part of life, but he is with you. He is for you. The Prince of Peace he is alive in your heart, in your soul. Your spirit is made alive because of the work of the cross, because of the baby that was born. And I want you to just take some time and meditate on that. Give yourself, again, I don't have any time. Take yourself 5 minutes, sit in the car, and say, I'm just going to think about the fact that I am identified by the Spirit as a child of God because of my faith and my belief in Jesus Christ as my Savior, as my Messiah. Just sit in that and let that infuse and absorb into your spirit, your soul, and your body. And then go forth. Lead yourself well. And let your spirit rise up to lead your soul and your body with intentional, purposeful faith, belief, and shift your thoughts so you can manage your emotions, so you take right action and get the results and the legacy you desire to create. Bless you, friends, and have a great Christmas. Love to all of you. Bye-bye.
Hey friends, don't forget to jump into the Christian Life Coach Collective Facebook group if you haven't already, so you can connect with like-directed people and get free resources and ask for feedback, all the things that are going to help support you on your calling as a coach. I hope to see you in there, and don't forget to subscribe to the show.